Imagine coming home to the scream of a chainsaw ripping through your electrical line. Sparks flying like fireworks from hell. All because your HOA overlord decided your solar panels were a threat to community aesthetics. Now picture that same petty tyrant, smug in her fluorescent vest, watching your house go dark only to find herself plunged into a blackout of her own making. Her empire crumbling under the weight of her own absurdity. In the sleepy suburbs of Evergreen Meadows, a gated community in suburban Ohio where manicured lawns hid a pressure cooker of ridiculous rules, lived Alex Harper. Alex was the kind of guy who kept to himself, a quiet software developer who'd bought his modest ranch-style home 5 years back, dreaming of a peaceful life with his rescue dog, Buddy. But peace? Ha! Not with Margaret Maggie Kensington ruling the HOA like a self-appointed queen. Maggie, a retired accountant in her late 50s with a perm that screamed "I peaked in the 80s," paraded around in her pearl necklace and sensible loafers. Clipboard always at the ready. She spoke in honeyed tones about upholding property values and fostering harmony, but everyone knew it was code for micromanaging every blade of grass. Alex had been her favorite target from day one. Whispers started small, neighbors murmuring that his late-night coding sessions meant he was running some shady online business. Then came the rumors, Maggie hinting at HOA meetings that Alex's solar panels were probably hooked up illegally, implying he was stealing power or worse, involved in eco-terrorism nonsense. Alex heard it all through the grapevine. The way his neighbor Mrs. Patel would avoid eye contact at the mailbox. Or how the block's busybody, old Mr. Jenkins, would mutter about that suspicious young man. He bit his tongue, smiling politely at block parties while documenting every snide remark in a private journal. Inside, though, he was a coiled spring, observing Maggie's every move with the precision of a chess master. She thrived on isolation, pitting residents against each other with selective fines and sweet-talked alliances. Oh, dear. Have you seen Alex's yard? It's just not in line with our standards, she'd coo to one couple, while slapping another with a $50 ticket for a slightly overgrown hedge. The neighborhood simmered under her thumb, a facade of picket fences masking the resentment bubbling beneath. It all ignited one crisp Saturday morning when Alex stepped out to tinker with his electric bike in the driveway. The whir of a chainsaw shattered the quiet, a mechanical growl echoing off the cul-de-sac like a bad omen. He rounded the corner of his house, heart pounding. And there she was, Maggie, decked out in a neon safety vest that clashed hilariously with her floral blouse, wielding a rented chainsaw like she'd binge-watched too many home improvement shows. Maggie? What in God's name? Alex started. But she revved the engine, drowning him out. Standing perilously close to his electrical meter, she yelled over the noise. You've been cited 3 times, Mr. Harper. Those unsightly solar panels violate Section 4.2 of the Covenants, non-approved modifications. In that shed? 2 inches too close to the property line. Her voice dripped with faux concern, as if she were scolding a child for a messy room. Alex froze, watching in disbelief as she swung the blade low, slicing clean through the main power cable. Sparks erupted like a 4th of July sparkler gone wrong, the acrid smell of burnt wiring filling the air. His porch light buzzed once, flickered, and died. The whole house went silent, no hum of the fridge, no whir of the AC. A small crowd of HOA sycophants gathered on the sidewalk, nodding approvingly. One, a balding guy named Ted, even clapped slowly, muttering, "About time someone enforced the rules." Maggie shut off the chainsaw, wiping her brow with a satisfied smirk. There. Problem solved. Now, perhaps you'll comply. Alex stared, Jaw clenched. You just vandalized my property. That's illegal. Maggie. You can't play judge and executioner. She waved a manicured hand dismissively. Oh. Please. The HOA empowers me to maintain order. Without consequences. Riffraff like you drag down our values. Call the power company if you must, tell them it's for the greater good. She turned on her heel. Chainsaw dangling like a trophy. Leaving Alex in the dark. Literally and figuratively. He called the utility right away, the tech on the line side. Buddy. That's a full reconnect job. Earliest slot? Monday. Hope you've got candles. That night, Alex sat on his porch with a lantern and a lukewarm beer. Buddy whining at his feet. The rumors had escalated. Maggie was already emailing the neighborhood listserv, claiming Alex's noncompliance had forced her hand for safety reasons. Laughter bubbled up in Alex's chest. Bitter and sharp. Safety? From a woman who'd just handled a live wire like it was a garden hose. But he didn't rage. No. He plotted. See? Alex wasn't just a coder, he consulted for the county's public works department, specializing in grid management software. Maggie had cut his power. But she'd just handed him the keys to hers. The blackout hit Alex hard, spoiled food in the fridge. No Wi-Fi for work. Neighbors shooting him pitying glances mixed with Maggie's planted suspicion. But he used the downtime wisely. Poring over HOA bylaws on his phone's last battery life and cross-referencing them with state utility codes. By Sunday, he had a gem, an obscure regulation allowing certified consultants like him to flag grid instability in shared community lines, triggering mandatory shutdowns for inspection. It was all above board. No hacking. Just bureaucracy at its finest. Monday morning. As Maggie sipped her organic tea in her pristine kitchen, blissfully unaware, Alex submitted the flag online. Inconsistent voltage spikes detected in HOA-managed common areas, he typed. Attaching fabricated but plausible data logs he'd simulated legally from public records. The system kicked in automatically, bam. Lights out for the entire HOA grid, including Maggie's McMansion at the end of the street. Water pressure dropped to a trickle, gas lines locked for safety. Her Keurig sputtered and died mid-brew. She stormed out, phone in hand, dialing the utility frantically. This is an outrage. We're a premium community. The rep on the line was unmoved. Ma'am. Flagged for inspection. Backlogs a week. Have a nice day. Word spread like wildfire. Neighbors grumbled in group chats. Alex monitored anonymously. Mrs. Patel complaining about her kids' online school. Mr. Jenkins griping over his uncharged hearing aids. Maggie held an emergency town hall on her lawn, her voice quivering with forced authority. This is a minor glitch, folks. I've got it under control, probably that Harper boy's meddling. But Alex, now powered up via a temporary generator he'd rigged quietly, watched from his window, smirking. He started subtle outreach, a casual chat with Ted over the fence. Planting seeds. You know, Maggie's been finding people left and right. Ever wonder where those dues go? Ted paused, his loyalty cracking. Tensions mounted as the week dragged on. Maggie doubled down, patrolling with her clipboard, issuing verbal warnings for unauthorized gatherings as frustrated residents milled about. One evening, she cornered Alex at his mailbox. You did this, didn't you? Sabotaging the community out of spite. Her face flushed, pearls clacking as she jabbed a finger. Alex leaned in, voice low and even. Me? I just follow the rules. Maggie. Like you always preach. Page 112 of the State Utility Manual, any shared grid anomaly requires shutdown. You're welcome for the heads up. She sputtered. This is harassment. I'll have you evicted. But her eyes darted. The first hint of doubt creeping in. Neighbors overheard. Whispers turning to murmurs. The sycophants wavered, even Ted skipped her next update meeting. Alex fueled the fire with anonymous tips, emails linking to public records showing Maggie's cousin's landscaping firm getting sweetheart deals from HOA funds. Laughter echoed in private texts, Queen Maggie. Dethroned by her own throne? The powder keg exploded midweek at an impromptu block meeting in the park, where Maggie tried to rally her troops. 20 residents showed, armed with flashlights and folding chairs. The air thick with mosquito repellent and mounting fury. Everyone. Calm down, Maggie started. Her smile plastic. This outage is temporary, necessary for upgrades I've been advocating. A burly retiree named Carlos interrupted. Upgrades? My grandma's oxygen machine is dead because of this upgrade. And what about those fines you slapped on me for my truck's mud flaps? Where's that money now? Maggie straightened, clutching her pearls. Carlos. Dear. Those funds maintain our standards. Without them, we'd be a slum. Snickers rippled through the crowd. Alex, standing at the back, chimed in mildly. Standards like cutting live wires with a chainsaw. I have the video. Folks. Happy to share. Gasps erupted as he projected the footage from his phone onto a makeshift screen. There was Maggie. Chainsaw roaring. Sparks flying. Her face twisted in triumphant glee. The crowd turned. You did what? Mrs. Patel demanded. Maggie backpedaled. Voice shrill. It was enforcement. He ignored citations. But the tide shifted, residents shared stories, fines for holiday lights too bright, threats over pet leashes not matching the palette. Alex stepped forward. Calm as ever. We've got options. Clause 15 in the bylaws, emergency recall for misconduct. Let's vote. Maggie panicked. Her composure cracking like cheap veneer. You can't. I'm the president, elected fairly. But the vote was swift. Hands shooting up in the lantern light. She was out. Effective immediately. Police arrived shortly after Alex's tip about the vandalism. Officers reviewed the video on site. Ma'am. Interfering with utilities is a felony, one said. Cuffing her as she protested. This is a witch hunt. I was protecting values. Neighbors cheered quietly. A mix of relief and schadenfreude washing over them. As she was led away, her loyalists scattered, leaving her alone in the squad car, face pale under the streetlights. In the aftermath, the neighborhood breathed freely for the first time in years. With Maggie behind bars awaiting trial, charges piling up from vandalism to embezzlement after audits revealed her siphoning dues into phantom projects, the residents formed a voluntary co-op. No more fines. Just potlucks and shared tools. Alex's solar panels gleamed proudly. And Buddy romped without leashes sighted. The audit uncovered gems, Maggie's Community Enhancement Slush Fund, funneled to her nephew's ghost company, totaling over $50,000. Federal agents swooped in. Her assets frozen. Her house sold at auction to cover repairs. Neighbors barbecued under string lights, toasting to the chainsaw that cut the tyrant. Alex watched from his porch, a quiet smile on his face. Maggie's reign of petty terror had imploded spectacularly. Her hypocritical standards exposed as the farce they were. But as peace settled, one question lingered, in a world of overzealous rules and power-hungry Karens. Was Alex the hero for fighting back? Or just another player in the game, proving that sometimes, to win, you have to bend the system that bends you?